from the courthouse. How you doing, Attorney B. Ivy Lamont?
Hey, what's going on, Tory? I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
Joining me on the line, Dr. Umar Johnson. How you doing, brother, Dr. Umar Johnson?
Peace and Pan-Africanism, good brother, Black Power, to all my brothers and sisters in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Green Bay, Racine, and across the state of Wisconsin.
Yo, peace, King. I'm going to stand with you and walk with you, brother.
God bless you.
Because I think it's an important thing, what you're doing, and you need to have the support of the community. Regardless if we live in these areas or not, it all affects us in one way or shape or form.
It's time for that action and all the smoke. This is the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association award-winning Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Yam, pam, jam.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, wow.
Man, best show in the world, bro. You got the best show in the world. Hope you know that, man.
God bless you, brother. I appreciate that.
Speak up to you both. Thank you so much. Tory, you spoke to my kids. Liz, you did too. But you spoke to my kids, and when I tell you both that they was talking about what we did earlier that morning all day, that's literally what they was doing. They was talking about it all day. My son was just hollering, awesome. Where's Tory? Like,
tell Tony, all aboard. It's okay to jump on the love train.
I'm not jumping on the love train.
We might got a couple seats left. left.
Listen, he ain't going to be, Jordan Love will not be the starter in 5 years.
Trash. That's a trash.
That's just my take.
Now you're trying to string it out.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Well, I'll need some apologies from the staff of 101.7.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. I think the line's messing up. Hey, Eddie. Oh, I guess something happened with Eddie.
Hush up, boy.
And they have an agenda. And the agenda is a satanic one. I don't know why people don't talk about it. You can't talk.
Yo, they just empty.
I want to make sure that I let you know that to hear a person and have a person like you in this community, the way that you are selfless, the way that you give, even when your cup is not even full, you are filling other people's cups. And that just inspires me to make sure that I help you the best way that I can by doing my part.
As always, my good brother, stay cool, stay calm.
Now, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is the king of talk radio, Tory Lowe.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah, Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth, from 1 to 4. We about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready. Tory Lowe Show, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue, and I'm here for the action. And I want all the smoke. Salute to all my brothers and sisters on the front lines. The marathon continues. Thank you for joining me for the Tory Lowe Show live from the lakefront. It's powerful. It's feeling good down here at the lakefront. How y'all doing out there in Radio Land, Truth Nation? Hey, look, we got another powerful show for you today. So I'm going to need y'all to open up your ears, okay? Thank you for joining me this Friday, June 27th. Hey, look, we got a lot of things coming up. We got a lot of things to discuss on the show today. 2 officers were shot at, and one is in critical condition. This happened yesterday. I'm going to talk about that. And many times when we talk about these things, some people, they'll feel a certain way about the relationship between the community and the police. So depending on what side of the argument you are on, it's your perception. But I'll say this, I've been fighting for years to make sure that we have a great understanding of community and policing working together, because the elements that I fight against, human trafficking, somebody that took a loved one's life through senseless violence, you know, missing people, things that I need these ideas, communication between police and people to work well. And then you have a situation that occurs where officers get shot, or where a citizen gets shot by police, depending on what side of the argument you're on. And I'll say this, when we have families affected in a negative way, we got to make sure that we have these tough discussions on what can we do to try to mend it. And I'm talking about on both sides. For a long time, a lot of time people would just take one side or the other, but families are affected on both sides. On both sides. So my condolences go out to the officer that was shot. Last time I checked, that they're saying that he's at the hospital currently. I'll say this, we have to make sure that when these situations happen, we got to discuss it, because these are things that affect our community in a negative way many times when we hear officers being shot. I seen somebody that made a post, was like, okay, whoever out here tonight, they gonna get the backlash from the officer getting shot. I saw a post, somebody tagged me in a post like that, and I was like, wow. So then I saw a post that, hey, condolences to the officer's family and to everybody affected negatively. So that's why I say, depending on what side of the fence you're on, you know, we got to make sure that there are always people that are being affected by these things. And then when we talk about moving forward, or how do we handle this, or what do we do, I'll say this, I don't wish death on nobody. I'm not one of those people. I don't wish death on nobody. My worst enemy, I tell my worst enemy, God bless you, because that's between them and God. They got to figure that out. And when you get out here, only time when you get out here and you start causing harm to innocent life, then that's when I'm going to have to come and put my foot down on your head. You know, it don't matter what the innocent life was. I'm going to have to put my foot down on your head, because we shouldn't go for that. We shouldn't go for somebody bringing harm to innocent life. I'm not one of those people that's going to let you stick around me if you out here causing reckless damage. You know, I might be the one that might come get you. Somebody might call me, I'm by request, somebody might call me and tell me that you the one that brought harm to innocent life, and I might have to come organize to come get you. That's all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, we got to have these conversations. And we got to say, hey, I always wanted better communication between the law enforcement and the people in my community, because we have so much history of being abused and neglected. Then all of a sudden you see these ideas of officers being shot, and after years of abuse and neglect that happened to the community, and then you got to deal with the fact that this was a black officer, you know, at the end of the day. No matter if he was black or white, but this was in particular, in this case, this was a black officer, and his family is grieving, upset. He came to work, he got shot at work. So we got to have real conversations. So later on in the show, I'm going to open up the lines. You know, I'm going to open up the lines, but I really want to double down on how can we make the better relationship between the community and police, because I've been trying to do this for a long time. And I've hoped that I can be able to make strides in this area. Even when the police chief came on my show a couple weeks ago, when the police chief came on my show, I said, this year we're going to have to work together more than ever. From the elements that I'm seeing out here, that's a threat to all residents, to all citizens. It's elements that are taking innocent life, harming innocent people, man, woman, and child. And we got to be even more aware of this, in spite of trying to heal the differences and the way we feel about how policing is done in the black community and how they have treated us over the years, because these are elements that's gonna always be in our neighborhoods. They're gonna always be a part of our daily lives, unless we go and get some private land somewhere and not be affected by that. But until that comes, we in these neighborhoods, that has crime. You got reckless driving, you got all these other elements, and we need all of our resources to work well. We need all the resources that we have to work on a high level, and that means the police department, that means a lot of these organizations that's getting taxpayers' dollars. We got to start organizing and making sure that they're doing what the mission statement is saying, and then we're fighting against the crime element that's mutating to where it's just no rules to the game. And we've been all witnessing this, and maybe even some of us falling victim to this. I had a woman call me the other day and said that people raided her house. Some young people raided her house, took all her stuff. And so I said, did you make the police report? Yeah. Did the police come? Yes. You know, what was the final outcome? She said nothing. Nothing really took place. She didn't like the way that she was being serviced by law enforcement and the information that she gave to the law enforcement. So that's why she called me to try to make some sense of it. And I'm just shaking my head like every day I get calls where people are saying that they have called the resources. They have called the right organizations, and then they calling me because they got nowhere. They got nowhere. So I said, okay, I'm gonna answer the call. I'm gonna try to figure it out. But I know that we have to start making sure that we're making strides between the community and law enforcement. And we always said that one day that people are gonna get tired, and then we may start hearing stories like what we're hearing right now. And what I'm seeing is that what we said years ago that was eventually going to take place, where people are going to just start doing things like we're talking about right now today, where an officer went to work, and now look at this, look what's going on. Look what's happening. And I tried to prevent stuff like this. I worked hard to prevent things like this by working with the families. You know, I never worked directly with law enforcement because I don't like the fact that the reputation of what's going on in the black community and law enforcement, I don't like that. So I work with the family and let them talk to them. But this year I said I was going to take a step into working directly with law enforcement to try to make sure that we are on the same keel as far as getting some of these elements under control, or working with my knowledge with the chief, with the police chief. So that was I just said that weeks ago. Now, my biggest fear of what would take place after years and years of things that may have seemingly been unfair to the community. Now, you know, this is what some of the end result of the mistrust that I feel, in my opinion, is the mistrust, or where people are saying, okay, we not gonna, you know, we not just gonna lay down, and we not gonna just back down and nothing like that. I mean, they look like, from what happened yesterday, I mean, these people, they said it was an ambush. They said that this was some type of ambush situation. I don't know. It's what I read. I saw the word ambush. I'm like, wow, in the alley. Okay. So when you see key words like that, our people out here ambushing the cops now. Is that what they calling it now? Because I've never seen that in the headlines before. I just seen that officer confronts a person, they get into a shootout, X, Y, and Z. Well, this narrative is that they ambushed the officers in the alley. They were responding to a call on Garfield and on 25th and Garfield, and they got ambushed. This is what I'm seeing. I think it was a Fox News report. So here we go. Here go the headlines. Is there any kind of way that we can work through this? Is there any kind of way we can build a better relationship between when we call the police department and when we deal with the community? Because we all have to deal with a lot of the elements, the crime elements, the negativity and things like that. We want those elements out of our neighborhoods, and many times we have to call the police to do that. We have to depend on the police to do their job well to make sure that that happens. So I'll say this. I said this about a week ago to the chief, Jeffrey Norman, who got another term, who just got voted in with another term, that I would spend a lot of my time now to work and give my information, give my knowledge, and give my understanding to help. But we got to work on that transparency. And that's the problem. A lot of times when it comes to transparency, that's where, that's where they fall short. When we start asking questions, we get the word salad. So we gotta heal it. We gotta heal these connections, not only with how the community may react or respond to law enforcement, but we gotta heal the community when it comes to these organizations that's getting the taxpayers' dollars and not really doing much. They get enough money to help 100, they only help 10, and they only put 5 on the news, like to make it look like they helped 100. We gotta deal with it. These are the tough situations that we gotta start working to resolve. And that's why I say y'all be distracted by the mainstream media. Y'all be talking about Donald J. Trump and Joe Biden and all these politic ideas, but down the street, you don't even know what's going on down the street until you see it on the news. And that's a problem. That's a problem. We got to get more active on things that's directly in front of us and work our way up. Some of y'all just living at the highest level because you don't have to deal with what's in front of y'all. Sometimes it's easier to go where you can't, in an area where you have no effect, to talk about all of that extra junk. But then what's going on down the street? Are you affecting your neighborhood in some kind of way? I always ask people who are always trying to get that advice, how are you affecting your neighborhood right now? How are you a resource for your neighborhood? Are you out there? Do they know who you is? Do they know your name? How they don't know your name, but you out here giving advice to people to try to do something? That's what's happening. Make it sound good, make it look good. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of it. It's not making our communities better. Hey, look, when we come back, Tory Lowe Show live from Summerfest, I want to go over some things that we can do to try to help improve our dealings and our situations in our community with the police department. It's some things that we can do to work together to try to help rise above what we're seeing today and what happened yesterday. How can we work together? How can we move forward? We're going to talk about it when we get back. Truth Nation! Tory Lowe Show live from Summerfest. Stay tapped in.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Summerfest is back, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth has you covered with front-row access passes to the best concerts at Summerfest this year.
Tune in to all your favorite Truth shows every day so you do not miss your chance to win tickets and wristbands to see artists like Offset, Bossman D-Lo, Ira Star, T Grizzly, and so many more.
Do not miss your chance to see these artists up close and personal during Milwaukee's biggest summer party. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Truth Nation, you already know I gotta put you on the latest hookups at Nick Avani's. Summer is here, and Nick Avani's is bringing all the heat all month long with 50% off select items during June. Whether you're leveling up your wardrobe or just want to turn heads wherever you go, they've got you covered with top-tier fashion. Suits, shirts, ties, shoes, and more. It's all about that fresh look and confident vibe, and Nick Avani's is making sure you step out feeling like $1,000,000. Pull up to Nick Avani's on the 2nd floor of Mayfair Mall or shop online anytime at nickavani's.com.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When it's time to upgrade your windows and doors, wouldn't you like to work with the best? But maybe you're thinking in these volatile times, I don't want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget, and right now you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. And if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years. Pella truly believes that quality windows and doors don't have have to be expensive. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the U.S., you can get the look you want at a price you can afford. And with Pella's free in-home consultation, no obligation quote, and range of available financing, getting new windows and doors from Pella is easier than you think. Certain restrictions apply. Ends June 30th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app at 1017thetruth.com.
She ate at the gym and she started defending, was out on the chin and the lip. Walking in bed with a 10-piece, would have thought I was a motherfucking pimp. Elliot, I went the craziest, I lost some pieces I can't even remember. McLaren, the spider, the craziest, I tried to top in the middle of December. No, the engine is not in the front and the back, I just carving the fender.
101, the truth, Tory Lowe Show, live from the lakefront. I'm going to tell you right now, it's an amazing day, beautiful day once again down here at Summerfest. We've been having an amazing time. Shout out to our food sponsor, Major Goolsby's. Pow, Major Goolsby's. I've been having a great time. I've been getting treated like a king down here, right here at Summerfest, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait till tomorrow. We're going to have the MPD versus the Teens Cop for Kids and Community organization. You can go to www.copforkids and check out their website. But I'm going to tell you this, this is just in time. This is perfect time because I had this plan before whatever took place yesterday with the officer being shot in the community, because I knew that we had to be ahead of this. We had to start implementing ideas where we're getting the kids that may be afraid of dealing with law enforcement. A lot of young people say that they're scared of cops, and that fear is going to eventually turn into some type of retaliation. I already knew this. I already understood this dynamic. So this year I've worked hard to put events in place that we can make sure that we are doing our part as citizens and residents to participate in trying to mend the differences, mend these different ideologies between police and community, and try to bring some type of transparency. If we can get that, transparency idea together, they tell us they want us to, be more transparent and help out, but we need them to be more transparent too. It's a two-way street. But don't nobody, why this is going on, deserves to lose their life on, whether it's an officer being shot or whether it's a community member being shot, unless you're out here doing something that, some of this, not all shoes is, wrong. Sometimes people get involved in things and they, cause problems where the officer have to do whatever they got to do. But then also you got to go on the flip side where you see videos where we wonder why they got shot, a citizen or something like that. So we got to look at the whole picture here. We got to look at the whole picture. And the thing is, what can we do? What can we do all together, police and the citizens? We as a community, we got to start practicing community police collaboration, like the basketball game. Like the basketball game that's going to be happening tomorrow at noon down here at Summerfest at the Gruber Law Office Sports Zone. We got to have collaboration. You know what I mean? Certain things that the kids can do to meet police in the space where they can have a decent conversation instead of meeting them out here on the streets, and it may be a negative situation. I'm all for that. Everybody should be trying to work to try to bring a little bit more understanding, especially the officers that patrol our community. That's why I'm a big person for community policing, where the officers look like the people in the community that they police. I'm big on that. I'm big on community policing. But like I said, it's up to the leadership to do what their plan is. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know what that is. But I'm for community policing, where the people that look like the people that's in the neighborhood are assigned to those neighborhoods. Once again, citizen and police academies and educate community members about police procedures and protocols. We need to be educated on police procedures and protocols. A lot of times when we have police officers in meetings, we talk about issues, but we need to be educated on what they're supposed to be doing and the protocols. You know, we talk about how the late reactions and the nonchalant responses. A woman told me, like I said, her house got robbed, and she made the report and everything, and I almost brought her on the show today. I almost brought her on the show so y'all can hear what she's telling me. But I hear it all the time, and thank God that I'm an advocate, so y'all can all hear it at the same time I'm hearing it. I understand what I'm saying. So we know that there's problems. We know that there's issues. But we got to start doing more things to make sure that we do our part. Police accountability and transparency, they got to make sure that we have the data. You know, public data sharing. They got to be more transparent. Like when they have these press conferences, they can't just shape the narrative to benefit the police department. They got to tell what exactly being transparent, that's what it means. Don't be up on TV reading the script to try to protect the brand. Or the lawyer get them the script on how to really say it. This is what they do. Every brand do that. They try to protect the brand, but sometimes in some situations you got to be transparent because they transparent when you do something. They transparent when Lil Ray right now, somebody, they transparent when it's you. But we need the transparent to go both ways. And we need immediate action on officers that's violating human and civil rights. We need that. I'm not saying that's the case with what happened yesterday. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is these are things that have to happen, that have to take place to better the relationship between the community and the people. We got restorative justice programs that we can implement, and I think we have some people pushing for restorative justice programs. Implement programs that focus on repairing harm and promoting healing. You know, I think that they did it through the church. I think they did this through the church for a while. They would have officers and they would have people, regular people. But see, the people that they was bringing in to do these restorative situations, these was people that was, you know, kind of poor. They went from the street. I used to come up like, you know, the people that really need to hear the message ain't the ones that's already acting like great citizens. They need to get into the youth. They need to get in and have these young people and some of these older people that's out here. You know, we need to really buckle down on the people that really need to hear this. Sometimes there be people in the room and they ain't even the ones that need to hear the message because they already understand. They just there to support. The whole room full of people that already know or they already have a great idea of how to behave themselves. Okay? Sometimes that's trash. I don't even do half of that stuff. That's trash. You got to get better at reaching the target audience. We got to start reaching the target audience and not shaping a fake audience to make it look like some people came. Because that's what I be seeing. It be other organizations that's getting paid and they buddies. It just be a buddy meeting. And they you know, you need to bring such and such. Why don't you bring your nieces and nephews from this organization? They all bringing their relatives and their friends, all of them working in organizations. It ain't nobody from the street up in these things. Nobody that's really directly that really need to hear this stuff. That's all I'm saying. I'll never see it. I'll never see it. I used to go up like, how many people ain't gonna get in no trouble? Hey, I don't know. That's why I don't do meetings, because it's staged. A lot of it is staged meetings, like buddy type, group organizations type. We got the grant money coming in. We need to get people to sign these signatures so we can keep getting the grant money type meetings. I've been telling y'all, when y'all go to those meetings, how you sign that piece of paper, that's how they keep getting the money. That's how they renew the money. And they don't care who signed the signature. They just need signatures. But is it the right people in the meetings that need to hear it? Many times, I don't think so. Many times it's not. Many times it's make it sound good, make it look good. I done witnessed it with my own eyeballs. And they got soda and pizza and everything. I don't know. That's why I don't mess with it. That's why I get out here, I go in the front rooms of people's houses, and I do it from the front rooms. I don't never do those meetings. They'll never see me at the meetings, stage meetings. We get it in from the front room back to the street. We get in the front room and organize, and then we hit the streets. That's how I like to do it. So I know it's real. So I know it's going to affect the people that it need to affect. That it hit the people the target people that we're trying to really reach. That's what I'm trying to do. Well, we got video of what took place yesterday. When we come back, I want to play the video from what took place with the officer shooting from yesterday on 25th and Garfield. Xavier, we'll play the video when we get back. Tory Lowe Show live from the lakefront. I was going to ask you a question, but I'll ask you a question, and when we go to break, I wanted to ask you who coming in for the pop report, but we'll talk about it when we go to break. Truth Nation, Tory Lowe Show live from the lakefront. Stay tapped in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, Truth Nation, it's your girl DT from The Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken Harris. Now listen, at a critical time, through the Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, Old National Bank provided the resources I needed to sustain my business. Now the process had its challenges, but I was supported, and it was also an invaluable learning experience for future ventures. I am so grateful for the support that helped my business thrive. Old National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to approval.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Ben Jammin with his truth.
Truth Nation and all the juicy jammers out there, can I be honest? Honest about what? Honest about me. Honest about following your dreams. Matthew 16, verse 26. What does it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? I didn't know what I was getting into when my mother birthed me. I never imagined walking out of a job would lead me here. Back in 2017, I was working third shift at a grocery store, hating it. I knew I had to make a change. One day I walked out. No plan, just a leap of faith. 2 months later, I got a job with V100, and it was on and popping. I met Wiz Khalifa, Jerry Springer, Ice Cube, and Charlamagne the God. But in 2020, everything changed. COVID hit, and I was furloughed. But it gave me clarity. Clarity on who I was, who my real fans were, and what I truly wanted. After 8 months, I got an opportunity with 1017 The Truth. I got the chance to speak on air, and things took off. I started as a producer, and now I'm the host of Jamming with Juice. I've spoken with the White House, NBA All-Stars, and even killed an unreleased track with one of your favorite rappers. Through it all, I remained vulnerable with you, Truth Nation, especially after losing my dad. But here's the truth. It's not just about following your dreams. It's about preparing for them. What you want to happen is going to happen. But if you're not ready for it, you have to watch it pass you by. As a great prophet once said, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. So if it wasn't for the divine timing of the George Floyd assassination, the time that I took for myself to become greater, or the vision of the CEO of our company, 1017 The Truth, or myself wouldn't be here. So I call it divine timing. I can tell you to follow your dreams, but it's much better if you prepare for them.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Milwaukee Brewers will begin a 3-game series against the Colorado Rockies over at American Family Field. The Milwaukee Brewers at 45-36 on the season. Jose Quintana on the mound. First pitch is set for 7:10. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks made their selection in the NBA draft last night, number 47th overall.
The Milwaukee Bucks select Bogoljub Markovic.
Markovic last played in Serbia, where he averaged just over 13 points per game.
Certainly from a physical side and mental side, it has prepared me, I think, the most out of anyone here, in my opinion. But I'm just super glad to be here, blessed, ready to get to work.
This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Seven and Truth, Tory Lowe Show, live from Summerfest. Beautiful day. Amazing entertainment, amazing live performances going on. If you're down here, like I said before, come through, holla at your boy. We got games. You can win some Truth swag, some Truth prizes. And salute to Truth Nation that's stopping through. It's powerful. It's powerful down here. If you come down, we right near the sports zone by the lake. We right near the sports zone by the lake. Once again, salute to Truth Nation. The Queen just passed me just now with the family. God bless y'all. How y'all doing? And I'll tell you this. In the last couple of days, I done seen people of all races, all different creeds, all different beliefs, all different backgrounds come and say how much they appreciate us for broadcasting on 101.7 The Truth. They talk about the different shows that we have. They talk about the impact of my show, how my show have impacted them. And I just sit there and watch and listen and take in the feedback. Because you never know how you're affecting people on a day-to-day basis. I'm on the air almost every day of the year. Almost every day of the year. And sometimes twice a day. So that's powerful. That is powerful. Now, what I want to get into is the story from yesterday of the cop that was shot. I think we have some video footage. We have some video footage from WISN. If you're watching as we broadcast live, let's listen.
You see all the flag mics, all the local media getting ready to perhaps get some of our questions answered. How did we get here? How did 2 Milwaukee police officers get shot? Was this in fact an ambush? Like Alex Ayala, the president of the union, was explaining, that he was like, I can only give you this limited detail, that it was an ambush to my police officers. He was pleading with the community to stop shooting his police officers, stop trying to kill his officers. We have a heavy group of people here walking into the podium area of this media briefing. We're expecting to hear whether or not the suspect or suspects in this case, in this investigation, are they arrested? Are they in custody? Have they been interviewed? Have they been questioned? How many suspects? What are their ages? And in terms of the officers, who are those officers, right? Yeah. How many years on the job? Are they in their 20s, 30s, 40s? We still have a lot of details that we are waiting on, and hopefully before the end of this hour, we get some clarity and some confirmation on the details that are still missing, big, important details that are still missing in this investigation. As we understand, this is still a very ongoing investigation, very ongoing scene. We've had reporters scattered throughout the Midtown neighborhood trying to cover every single aspect of this, and I believe that is Assistant Chief Nicole Waldner approaching too.
As they're walking up toward the microphone, the estimation was really spot on. It's just coming up at 1:20 right now. Here's Assistant Chief of Police from Milwaukee Police Department, Nicole Waldner.
I'm Assistant Chief Nicole, N-I-C-O-L-E, Waldner, W-A-L-D-N-E-R, the Criminal Investigation Bureau. Last night, Thursday, June 26th, At approximately 9:10 p.m., officers were sent to a subject with weapon call. While en route, it was upgraded to a shots fired. While the officers were approaching, they were unexpectedly fired upon in the alley of the 2200 block of North 24th Place. The officers were both struck and not able to return fire. Both officers have just over 6 years on the job. Our first officer is a 29-year-old, and he is currently at the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The second officer, a 32-year-old, is at the hospital, and he remains in critical condition. We are seeking a known suspect. It's active and ongoing, and the Milwaukee Police Homicide Division will be investigating the shooting. I want to thank the fire department, Frederick Hospital, the sheriff's office for helping us out here and always being a partner to us, and all other law enforcement agencies that showed up to help with this very expansive scene and this horrible thing that is once again happened to our city and our police department. We're asking for prayers for both officers and their families, their classmates, and every officer on the street. I want to thank all the officers that came in on their off days. They came in out of shift. They came in on vacation just to take all the other assignments to keep Milwaukee safe so that we could be here to investigate this crime and while the two officers are in the hospital recovering.
Hey.
Thank you, AC Waldner. She just mentioned, AC Waldner did, that we should be praying for our police officers, and that's exactly what I've been doing when I found out that the situation here happened. And it's a sad day. It's a very sad day, because no officer, no person in law enforcement should ever be fired upon. Never. It is never okay. It is never appropriate. It is never the right thing to do to fire on our police officers.
When I start talking, you can cut it.
I think a lot of people
what I want to say
forget,
is that
or they take for granted
this
perhaps,
is something that we try
that
to get ahead of because
when
you can see the conditions
incidences
of the community. You can see it. That's why the mayor's was just on the show, talking about how can we prevent crime? How can we work together to better remedy what we're seeing? We talk about these things, and we got to be more about that action. And so I told the mayor, hey, look, we it's an element out here that we got to work hard to try to work and fight against. And this time around, I'm working with everybody who's willing to do the work. Whether it's who, I don't care who it is. Because why? The work got to be done. The work got to be done. We was just talking about how we can try to get out here and try to affect the community in the right way. And now we have a situation where a lot of the things that I talked about, we was trying to prevent from happening. I was trying to, if you listen to the Tory Lowe show, I've been talking about things like this, that eventually we may see this type of situation. And we may consistently see this type of situation. What I'm saying is, we got to start getting out here boots on the ground. We got to start getting out here in collaborative efforts between community, law enforcement, between community and organizations, and so we can make sure that the resources are going where they need to be, where the money and the situations that we're up against, when that money come in, making sure that the right people are conducting those funds and put it in the right place so we can see some results. That's it. Now, if you're willing to do that, that's what I'm finna do. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. That's exactly what I've been trying to do. So when you get on and you try to say, okay, this is unacceptable, it is unacceptable. And we all know that. But how are we going to fight against it? How are we going to fight against officers being shot and then also citizens being shot wrongfully as well? Let's not act like that we haven't seen those type of news reports, okay? But we definitely don't want to see people losing their lives in our community, no matter how it happens. We don't want it. We don't need it. We don't need that type of energy. But at the same time, when you have a lot of organizations misrepresenting themselves and years go by of misrepresentation and funding missing and neglect going on, then what do you think gonna happen? What do you think the ultimate outcome is gonna happen? What we seeing right now. And it ain't no Martin Luther King speech gonna get you out of it. Ain't no Martin Luther King speech gonna get you out of this. What's gonna have to happen is we gotta regroup, rethink, and reshape how we get down. And we're gonna have to start on the inside. You know, it's not because the officer got shot that the urgency is there. The urgency has always been there. But are the people that are at the table that are getting the funding to provide the resources, are they competent enough to do it? It's the money coming in. I see it all the time. We talk about it all the time. The money coming in, where is it going? Is it hitting the spots where it need to hit? Are these people qualified to do it, or was they buddies, and the buddies found a way to get them in a position to get paid? What you tell me? You tell me, Truth Nation. I'm interested. Somebody help me out. That's why I'm gonna open up the lines at 2 o'clock. I want to know. I got questions, because we all living in these environments where we need all of our agencies to work well. There's nobody gonna argue with that. But when it's not working well for years and we complaining and are we being heard? Is the people being heard? Is the police being heard? Some of the brothers in the police department, they pull me to the side all the time and tell me that things that they see that need to change. We had some people that used to work in law enforcement come on the Tory Lowe show and say there's things that need to be worked on from the inside that need to change. Are they listening? Because nobody wants to see an officer shot. Nobody wants to see a citizen wrongfully abused. You get this video of me from 10 years ago saying the exact same thing I'm saying now. I got videos of me trying to heal the relationships, trying to get everybody on one accord so we can have better communities. So when I see things like this, it's what I always said that was going to eventually take place. And so instead of getting out here trying to, point the finger, how can we take this as a teachable moment to show us and to be a mirror and a reflection of what we have to do? How can we do that? Hey, look, when we come back, it's your boy Tory Lowe live from the lakefront. We're going to have more conversation, Truth Nation. I'm going to try to get in the chat. I haven't got in the chat. I need to get to the chat. I need to see what they're saying in the chat. Truth Nation, stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, in case you missed the amazing premiere of the 8 Block, you've got another chance to tap in. Coming straight from the heart of Milwaukee, the 8 Block is a bold, youth-led radio show powered by City on the Hill and 1017 The Truth, hosted by me, your boy, Big Jammin'. 8 Milwaukee teens with real stories and real lives. So don't miss the replay this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1017 The Truth and hear what the future leaders of the world have to say. Truth Nation, welcome to the 8 Block.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
of hearing no from other banks? No to a loan? No to a checking account? Just no? At Brewery Credit Union, they find ways to say yes. Yes to second chances. Yes to rebuilding credit. Yes to helping you save, borrow, and thrive. Work with your credit specialist and move your financial life forward. Brewery Credit Union, Milwaukee's best place to borrow and save. Visit brewerycu.com. That is brewerycu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
What if you could ask a question that leads to cleaner water? Discover aspects of the far reaches of space, or journey deep into data to improve healthcare. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee ask questions, find answers, and add to our understanding every day. Progress starts with the question. It starts at UWM, the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
State Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app at 1017thetruth.com.
It's on. Yeah. Chase money. I'm roll running. Catch up with me. I stay hunting.
101.7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. Hey, look, we live from the lakefront. I'll say this. We've been talking about this officer shooting from yesterday, and we've been talking about things that we can do as a collaborative between the people in the community to try to curb a lot of that mistrust and how we can work together, both from the police department side, because it's things that they got to do, but it's things that we as citizens have to do to make these adjustments. But it's always a way where we can all benefit from the resources and agencies that we have in the community. It just takes everybody to do their part. And I'm a big believer, if everybody do a little, don't nobody got to do a lot. I'm a big believer in that. That's one of my things. If the police officer did his little on the inside, if he seen some bad apples in there, if we can stop them before they can get out and get on the street, that'll help. And if we can also talk to our families and talk about how we are not going to support some of the negative behaviors out here that's going on, especially when it comes to harming the innocent life. That's powerful. If we could just do that right there, that'll improve our situations tremendously. Just those couple things right there. It would definitely improve. We would definitely get a better footing on this conversation. Understand what I'm saying? But salute, I can see y'all in the chat now. Salute to everybody in the chat. I'm just now getting the chat up. You know, when we broadcast live, I got to make sure that I go through these other routes to try to get to my chat. But salute to everybody in the chat that's contributing to the show today, as usual. And salute to everybody that's tapping into the show out there in radio land. When we come back at the top of the hour, I want to open up the lines. What can we do to improve the community and police situation? I need y'all ideas. If y'all got any great ideas, what could happen on both sides? On both sides. I want to know, because this is what we're here to talk about today. People are being negatively affected, and we don't want to see people losing their lives with the elements, with a lot of the elements that's going on out here right now in 2025. Anybody that's condoning people losing innocent life, or people, no matter what walk of life they're on, anybody condoning that, shame on you. You know, you might be a part of the problem. You might be the trash. You might be trash. You know what I mean? You might be hot garbage. That ain't what it is. Now, I don't believe in people to be mistreated or anything like that, but you don't want to be in that space where people can lose their lives. So we don't want that. This is not what we want out here. This is not the right thing to do. Understand what I'm saying, Truth Nation? Understand what I'm saying, Truth Nation? So when we having to talk about resolving issues, when we having to talk about making sure that we're doing the right thing and using things as a teachable moment, this is the moment right now. This is that moment right now that we can call in, and now it's time to let your voices be heard. Many times when these opportunities come, we miss the whole overall point on what we can do to improve the situation. We miss out because many times the leadership, this ain't what they talking about. They just pointing the finger. You know, they saying, okay, these people should have did that. I'm saying that nothing like this should have happened. I'm saying that this is one of those moments where how can we, what ideologies, what things that we can do to try to improve it. That's all I'm saying. So we're going to open up the lines at the top of the next hour, and I want to hear what are some of the things that we can do to improve the relationships many times that we deal with every day with these agencies, and how we can make it more peaceful between not only the people in the police, but how can we rid our community of these crime elements? What do we need to do? Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more discussion. Tory Lowe Show broadcasting live from Summerfest. Truth Nation, stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, are you looking for a fun opportunity to showcase your clothing line, restaurant, nonprofit organization, food truck, or small business? Well, look no further than doing it at our Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 23rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School. We are currently accepting vendor applications for our festival. You don't want to miss out on this great opportunity to promote your business and be part of all the fun. To be a vendor at Truth Family Fest, visit truthfamilyfest.com and sign up today.
Truth Nation, have you ever wanted to meet the people behind Milwaukee's Realist Talk? Well, here's your chance. Join us Friday, July 11th from 5 until 7 p.m. at Mr. B's Privilege Lounge, 8617 West Brown Deer Road for our first installment of Beyond the Mic. That's right, Milwaukee. We want to hang with you, share some laughs, talk about the issues, and build community one happy hour at a time. Beyond the Mic, where conversation continues after the show. Only from 1017 The Truth.
Dear employer,
my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Roskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser. I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum, I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data,
to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Bratfest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone.
This is Rhea Riley with your news update. The Wisconsin Supreme Court has ruled unanimously that UW Health is not legally required to recognize its nurses union or engage in collective bargaining. The decision upholds prior rulings and affirms that the 2011 law known as Act 10, which limited collective bargaining for public employees, applies to UW Health. Nurses had argued the hospital could still choose to bargain, especially after pandemic-era staffing issues. The court sided with UW Health, saying the law removed obligation. Milwaukee County will lose $2 million in federal grants after a low-income senior living center proposal failed. The County Board of Supervisors voted 10-7 on Thursday to reject the proposal to construct parts of McGovern Park. The Journal Sentinel reports the county had selected parts of McGovern Park's 61 acres to build senior housing, but neighborhood residents shot down the idea. Members of the county's Commission of Aging warns that more needs to be done to preserve the county's senior living centers. The county's current 5 senior living centers have $20 million in deferred maintenance. 2 police officers are shot, one critically in a late-night shooting in Milwaukee. Officers responded around 9:20 p.m. Thursday night to reports of a person firing shots near 24th and Garfield. The suspect was arrested without incident around 2 a.m. this morning. Milwaukee Police Association President Alex Ayala says the critically injured officer had surgery overnight at Freighter Hospital.
The next 24 hours are going to be crucial for him, so I just want everybody to pray for him for the next 24 hours. Hopefully everything goes well and he makes it through this.
The other officer is now in stable condition. In the past 5 months, Milwaukee has had 4 police-involved shootings. This has been your news update. The Tory Lowe Show is next on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
Tory Lowe Show, live from American Family Insurance Studio, live from Summerfest. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show, live from Summerfest this Friday. It's a beautiful day. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to be down here at Summerfest for a timely event. Cops for Kids program, Cops for Kids and Community program. Once again, they're going to have their annual basketball game, MPD versus the youth. And I will be coaching tomorrow at Summerfest at the Sports Zone at 12. So it's going to be powerful. We're going to be outside. These are the things that I've already had in play before a lot of this conversation took place, because I can't tell you how much I see, and I can tell by the climate of the conditions of the community that I think that we need to be a little bit more hands-on. I think that we need to get in the midst of our neighborhoods ourselves. We got to do that. We as a people have to do that. We have to take the responsibility and make the changes, because if that doesn't happen, it's not going to change. Understand, if we don't take over in our neighborhoods, in our communities, and make sure that our leadership is serving our needs in our districts where we live, it's not going to change. It's not going to change at all. It haven't changed. It's actually getting worse. And until we say we are the ones that we've been looking for to do it, that's when the real change is going to take place, because now we're going to work even more harder to make sure that we do our little. Okay, so make sure you're doing the little, okay? It don't take much if everybody do it all at the same time. Understand what I'm saying, Truth Nation? But I want to open up the lines. How can we make better ideas between our community and the law enforcement? Many times we complain about what's going on, but I need some real solutions to hit the lines. 833-212-1017. I already talked about what needs to happen to bridge the gap from my angle. You know, at the last hour, I talked about community and police collaborations. We already trying to work on that. We already leaning toward that. We got events already in play, so we need the community to come out, show out, support, and make sure that we're doing our job as a community to participate in those events. Police accountability and transparency. We need transparency. We need them to do their job. We need the good brothers and sisters that's on the law enforcement to do their job, to make sure that they point out the bad apples before they hit the streets. That when I hear good cops, sometimes they get mixed in with the bad apples. And you know what? If I was a good cop and I was in the districts and I seen somebody with a crappy attitude and I knew they was gonna go out in the streets, I would stop them and say, hey, what's going on with you today? I mean, you may need a timeout. They need to do a lot of things inside these districts to make real change too. Because I talk to officers inside these districts that tell me what's really happening in. And I understand it, and I salute y'all. And y'all know that I'm gonna have y'all back. You know that I'm gonna have y'all back because we ultimately got to get something done that's gonna bring a positive result. So I'm with you. I'm with the brothers that got the badge on, that's really trying to do the real community ideas to bring that real police work to the community. I'm with that. But then at the same time, you gotta stop letting the bad apples run the show. Not to say that this was the case with this shooting. I'm just saying this shooting is a result of a lot of years of things that have evolved, and I saw this coming a long time ago. So now it's evolving, and it's just sad to see. They said 4 shootings in so many months that we didn't have in the city of Milwaukee. 4 police-involved shootings. Okay? So I want to open up the lines, 833-212-1017. What are your ideas? What are some of the things we can do to help foster a better relationship in the community with police and citizens? Let's get Al from Sherman Park on the line. Al, how you doing, Al?
Hey, how you doing, Tory? I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this ever since I heard about the shooting last night. I think it's our attitude. I think it's a mental attitude we got to have. Instead of thinking that the police are our enemy, or listening to those people who want you to believe the police are your enemy, that they're after black folks. Because I can tell you, the times I've called the police, the last couple of times, I really haven't had any white officers come to my house. I've been seeing a mixed force, young ladies. I've been seeing Latinos, black officers, and I haven't really been seeing that many white officers come to my house. So it's not a complete white force. And these people that actually go out and put their lives on the line, willing to get shot at, and they don't get paid that much money to get shot at, aren't.
Well, I don't get paid no money.
I don't start.
I almost get killed every other week.
Yeah, I don't start out thinking that they have ill will. Now, sometimes you can have frustration with what you're dealing with and the limits of what you can do out there, but I think it's going to be up to the aunties and the uncles to start changing the mindset of the children, because they go to these little schools where there's kind of like a liberal communist element that has snuck in there to always want to divide people on race and class and say this person is oppressing you and that person is oppressing you. Therefore, because you're an oppressed person, you don't have to follow any of the civil rules in society. You can just do anything you want to. I think that's the attitude that's being impressed upon our young folks, and we've got to dispel it. Again, the mindset leads to attitude, the attitudes lead to action, and the actions that we are seeing out on the streets are from poor attitudes. And I think it starts with things as little as picking up the paper outside instead of throwing it on the ground. Carry it to the trash can. Put the diapers in the trash cans. Put the weave in the trash can. Just little things like that, and have pride in your neighborhood, because we all can be civil citizens. And police officers are civil citizens. And I don't think that there are that many bad apples. And if you do find a bad apple, go talk to the management at the station.
I agree.
You know? Okay, and that's the way it's handled. It's not going to be handled out in the street. And when the officer shows up, and I know people want to rush up to the officer and say they were a witness and they know what happened, but when you got 20 people talking at you it's very hard to discern what is really happening. So that's the other thing, too. When you get mad because you think the police officer's not listening to you and you're the only witness out there, remember what they have to do. They have to listen to all these people. They may not know who the suspect is. And it's not out of that they don't want to listen to you. It's that you can't listen to 20 people all talking to you at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't. And the thing is, we have to make sure that we have the emotional intelligence to understand what's going on at that time. You know, the heightened sense of what's happening at that time, and understand when to pick and choose when we get involved to try to make sure that our point is made.
Yes, not all cases are going to be litigated and adjudicated in the street. Sometimes you just got to take the ticket, go down to the station, go down to court and work it out. Because it's in court where the final decision is going to be made. It's not there at the level on the street while you're getting arrested or the officer is trying to talk to you about calming down and getting along with your neighbors. The street is just not the level to do that. It's the court. We may be at the station, and we got to be mature and understand that there's an orderly process to this. And when we have order in our neighborhood, we can have peace. Okay?
I agree.
We need to get to start the snitching. Like I said, put those cameras out there, turn your lights on. You don't have to personally snitch, but you can show a video to the police.
And I don't even think it's snitching when you're a resident. I think it's protecting your assets. And sometimes people get snitching confused. Snitching is a criminal element. First of all, let's say that. When you talk about the word snitching, that's between criminals that do things together and they tell on each other. That's where it originated from. Snitches get stitches is because we came up with something devious to do. You got caught and you told on everybody else. If you're not in that space, it's not snitching.
Correct, and the criminal doesn't like snitching because it gets in the way of them doing what they want to do when they want to do, and often when they're doing what they want to do, they're doing it to you, the peaceful citizen that's out there robbing and stealing and hitting you over the head. But we got to be mature at the way that we look at this, and we got to change our mental attitudes and understand people are people, and the police have their job to do, and to keep us safe, because we're at the point now where they can only respond to the most serious situations. They may not be able to respond to the break-in in your house because they're dealing with the shooting over here. But if we can reduce that, if we can reduce that, maybe they can finally get around to the car break-in, okay?
Well, you know what, Al, I'm getting a lot of calls of people saying they got their house broke into because I don't know if they able to get to those or they top priority or not, but they falling in my lap this year. I don't know.
Well,
sometimes I shake my head.
They can barely get to the car accident. Sometimes they can barely get to the car accidents, you know.
That's why we got to start regrouping, rethinking, and reshaping for what's going on right now. We got to get active. We got to be ahead of the curve. We got to start getting back involved. If we didn't tapped out, we got to tap back in.
True. Well, thank you, Tory. You have a good day.
All right, Al. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hey, look, I'll say this. It's a whole different ball game out here on these streets. And many times, you heard the story that they said that it was only one patrol officer where this is the police union. You know, they were saying that it was only one patrol officer out there in the 7th district that was available, and the MPD said that, okay, other squads were doing different things at that time, but it was only one available squad car out there for 90,000 people, okay? This year, I'm starting to get people, I never had people call me for their house being burglarized, home invasion type ideas. I'm getting those calls this year. Now, if it's making it to that, I know it's bad. I know it's bad. We got James on the lines. James, how you doing, brother James?
Bro? Listen, I watched that conference last night, and can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening, brother James.
Yeah, I watched that conference last night on TV, man, and it ain't fun when they got weird black dress and play soft music. See, when the table's turning, everybody's attention needs to be brought to the scene, you know. And it ain't fun when Rappy got the gun. So the rooster's coming home to root. The hen is coming home to root, and Hey, I feel like Malcolm X always said, I'm 65 years old. It ain't fun, rather got the gun. So now you just got to sit tight, buckle up, grit your teeth, and eat crow for a minute. Tables turn. Have a good day, bro.
Hey, God bless you. Hey, look, I'll say this, this is why it's important that we try to understand how we got to this point. This is why we got to not be so close-minded to seeing the immediate idea, but how did we get in this space right now in 2025? How did we arrive here where we have an officer that they say, and this is the word they use in quote-unquote ambush in the alley, let's not ignore all of the whole entire idea of community and policing. This is a great time to make the adjustments all the way around. This is the great time because we don't want situations or outcomes like this. So what do we have to do to prevent it? 833-212-1017. Talk to text 833-212-1017. White Widow, let's get White Widow before we run the break.
Hey, afternoon, Tory. How you doing?
How you doing, White Widow?
Well, I'm out here. I'm behind the scenes. I'm doing some follow-ups with that ACLU and a couple other things. So I'm not being dormant. I'm just not being loud. But I'm going to be loud right now. 41 years ago, Chucky Milberg and John Miloszewski, two officers. Chucky was 24. I knew him. They responded to a robbery. The guy ran by with the purse. They chased him. He said, let me dip into this side way. Cops ran by. He ambushed them, shot them both in the head, dead. For weeks, Winky, you'll know, Larry the Legend, a radio personality, got up. That's what they deserve. Police brutality. That's it. The guy said, I had to shoot him. I was afraid they're going to shoot me. I don't want to hear any of that. This is really making me mad. 3 weeks ago, a 39-year-old person shot a cop. Cavalier gets out there. You're 39 years old. You're too old. He is so out of touch. What next? You're scolding him? What age is a good age to shoot a cop, Cavalier? And stop lying. He said, we have rich on resources. I've been on these, pounding these pavements with homeless, with criminals, doing pardons, doing evictions, standing in line, standing at these nonprofits. You had Erica Crowley over on there a couple of months ago. She's right down the block, that nonprofit. We're rebranding ourselves. They're open 10 to 3. They don't call nobody back. Cavalier knows he's rich on resources, he tells us. The only one rich are these nonprofits getting the money and not showing up. What did Erica Crowley say? I don't know. Is she related to David Crowley? We've been around since 2018. And, COVID came. What'd you do, go home? Oh, yeah. And now they're open 10 to 3. I'm going to get the numbers. I'm going to see what the staff is, what the cost is. Erica Crowley, because she don't call back. She was on your show, and I got embarrassed. Because the people I'm working with, we went down there. We called her. There's so many nonprofits out here, and that's what our cops are dealing with. They're dealing with a public that is being deprived of basic needs. And what are our cops supposed to do? They know better than anybody else the corruption down at City Hall. Cavalier, why won't you tell me how much money the lawsuit against our cops in the city with the ACLU brought on by David Crowley in 2017? How come you won't tell me, Wisconsin Open Records Act, how much Milwaukee is paying? Because you know, Tory, ACLU's going to come back. They come back every 4 years. It's still happening. Open up the checkbook, Milwaukee taxpayer. So why won't you tell me, Cavalier, how much? You got me bouncing back and forth, Treasury Department, DA's office, Milwaukee attorney. I'm done, chump. I'm done. And don't anybody dare use the excuse of police abuse for a rationale as to why those officers were ambushed. You step up and run into the line of fire. The human instinct is to run away. I'll be damned.
Well, when we come back, Tory Lowe Show live from the lakefront. 833-212-1017 if you want to join the conversation. Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee, Black Talk.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Ready to join the fun? With Girl Scouts Extended Year Membership from Girl Scouts,
you can sign up by June 30th and get up to 18 months of adventure through September 30th, 2026.
Girls starting kindergarten or first grade in 2025 will also receive 3 Get Ready with Girl Scouts activity books,
featuring games, crafts, and stories the whole family will love, for free. Plus, you'll even get a special gift from the Girl Scouts. Join today and get ready to grow, explore, and shine with Girl Scouts.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
16,000 square, 8 million up there, 2 million down here. When I was born, grandmama could see it. I be Bentley driven and very strategic. RM sleeve, no diamonds are needed. Floors are heated, so be it, so be it. P get something.
1017 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show live from the lakefront. I'll tell you this. I salute everybody that have came up to the booth today, yesterday, last week, while we down here at Summerfest, when we out live. It's powerful, I'm telling you. It's powerful to see Truth Nation when we get outside. I always wanted an active listening audience. I didn't want no audience that was just sitting, not doing nothing, just listening, not doing nothing. No, we want people that get in motion. That's why we had these kind of conversations. What can we do? What can we do? We have a bad situation. Officers were shot, one in critical condition. They saying that they have a suspect. They saying that they have a suspect. And so when we talk about moving forward in the community, we got to look at the greater overall idea. How do we get here? How do we get to this point? I've been out here 16 years fighting every day trying to prevent killings or officer-involved shootings or officers getting shot. I've been trying to prevent all of that, trying to fight against a lot of these elements. And now we have a moment where people are feeling some type of way about it. They feeling some type of way about it. I want to know, what can we do to better heal the situation between community and police? I would love for everybody that's listening to the show to tap in, to chime into this necessary, much needed conversation that we're having today, live from the lakefront. How can we move forward? What do we need to do? We already know the problems. We know what the problem is. We see the problems. Let me get Bonnie on the lines. Bonnie.
Hello, good afternoon.
How you doing, Queen?
I'm doing good. I want to first say that my sour and everything go out for the 2 police officers that were shot last night. I was married to a police officer, and I know that if, I had gotten that call or something, this was years ago, but, it wouldn't have been a great thing. But there are a couple of things I want to address. First of all, I'd like to say, to move that aside from what I'm going to say, because I don't want to put the good in with the bad, the other part I'm going to say. So first of all, I'm hoping those and praying to the Lord that they heal and get well, and to their families. Secondly, I want to talk about, I see Jeffrey Norman was reelected as police chief last night.
Yes, he was.
I have some kind of feelings about him. I really, you had him on the show. I don't think he's a very effective police officer. He is, and not to say anything, I'm trying not to be negative today, but I'm trying to put the truth. I'm a truthful person.
Go right ahead.
I'm a realist. So, comparing him with Art Jones and some of the other police officers we had, where they're on the street, he brought them, and another police chief brought his men to the street and had roll calls out there and had them actively involved in a certain kind of way in the community. I see Areola. I see Miss Norman, and I see Danita Ball. She is the sheriff, but I see them as sitting in their office, and they are kind of yes people. They don't come out unless there's a press conference. I'm not the same way with Cavalier Johnson. I'm not impressed with people who just come out to say the right words at a press conference. As you talk about being active, I'm a person, I believe in action too, and I like to see more of that. Secondly, we are 200 police officers short, they were saying. Now, I'm going to say that our tax dollars, the biggest percentage, and I'm a taxpayer, I own a home, of our tax dollars go to the police department and the sheriff's department and their pension. So while a lot of us out here are, maybe having problems trying to feed our families, the big portion of our tax dollars go to them. So I do not feel sorry for them, because those monies and dollars can be spent in more effective ways. Next thing I'll address is recruitment. When I'm on corners, and I see them all the time, if I see a group of police officers, I'll see 5 or 6 or 7 Caucasian white police officers. I'm not against Caucasian police officers, because if something happened to me, I don't care who saves me. I don't care what you call it. You can be green if you want. That's not my thing, but I'm a realist and a truthful person. Now, you could do more recruitment to represent this community. When I go on the South Side, I love it. I see a lot of Hispanic police officers over there. Beautiful. I love it. When you go to other places, but we are getting too many suburban Caucasian white officers who come up and don't understand us in the first place. And they were not raised to understand us. I'm not saying all of them, but enough of them. So when we recruit, I think Jeffrey Norman and his group should try to get more recruiting of people that look like us. And you know that's more friendly. When I see somebody that look like me, I'm happy, because that's the way God did nature. He made birds of a feather. They flock together. They don't hate nobody other birds, but they still know that they feel good around a bird that looks like them. So that's some of my some things that I have. I would like Norman to get out of his office more, not for a press conference. I want him to to be more active in the street and have, like Art Jones. Art Jones didn't make it because he was one of those people that got out here and made his police officers accountable. Well, they didn't like that, so they were against him with the police union, and they got him out of here. Now, signing Jeff, go on.
No, I said, wow. I didn't know a lot of the things that he was doing.
Yeah, assigning Jeffrey Norman back into it is just, to me, he's more of a yes man. I don't see him being effective unless he's letting his captains and people like that run the office. But like I said, with the budget, most of our budget going to them, there should be no issue. They're getting the biggest chunk of our tax dollars. We're not getting the streets fixed here.
Oh, wow.
I'm running over potholes every time I drive. It's tearing up my car. Then there are foreclosed houses as beautiful as Sherman Park was once. I'm driving down Sherman Park now, and the houses are boarded up and grass is high. And I'm sitting here this morning. Minding my business. I get a call. I don't usually answer calls, but I thought it might be a doctor or somebody. Hello. I said they want to buy my house. There's regentrification going on in our city.
Well, Queen.
The city is for sale.
Look,
it is
I'm
for
gonna tell
sale.
you this.
That's why they're.
I'm gonna tell you this, Queen. We see a lot of the things that you've been talking about. Everybody that's listening to the show that live in the city of Milwaukee, we have a whole list, a laundry list of things that we need to be addressed. And many times when we try to express to the people, to the leadership, we try to make calls. We got to send emails. We got to start showing up at these events and letting them know as one group that enough is enough. We want different, and I think that many times we go as individuals, or we try to do things individually against leadership. Many times that's clicked up. They got their little clique together, and we're going as individuals to try to address it. And many times those cries fall on deaf ears. And I think that we as a people, that's why I said I'm no longer going to deal with the institutions by saying what they're doing and what they're not doing. We already did that. We already know what they're doing and what they're not doing. What are we going to do, as a people, as a whole, as community members?
I followed you and Liz Brown to I'm an active person too.
Right.
I followed you and her to a school board meeting, and that was months ago, and things still going on. Nothing happened. They walked out on us and went into the other room and left us in there, and the money still isn't accounted for.
Well, not only that, the people know. See, what we can do is ignite, but when we did the recalls, who all got involved in that? You know what I mean? When we started saying, okay, we need to remove people, who all got involved in it? So I got to blame us as a whole. I got to blame us for being docile in moments where we have to strike. You know what I mean? We could have had all of this cleared. We could have had all of this cleared up by now. We have people out here presenting things that say, okay, this is what we need to do, but they're continuing to be docile. So what are you going to do with that?
You're exactly right, and you know what bothers me is, like, at the school board meetings and a lot of things that are going on, they got 1.7 or something like $1 billion. They okayed the other day the school budget.
Yeah,
for
sure did. Without having the paperwork. Without having the paperwork taken care of.
1.7 billion, not million. You know how much $1 billion is? They're only going to take $16 million out of that. $16 million to address the lead in the schools. They could take a bigger chunk than that out, and then they could put air conditioning in the schools for our children. You know what they're doing is closing Milwaukee down. They're actually closing the
look like a lot of that's
down.
going to salary. It's going to salary to me.
It is. It is going to salary. And they're not doing that, like I said, $16 million to address the school's lead is like putting $5 on it to me.
Wow.
Out of $1 billion, and then, you know, they should, instead of closing the schools down when it's hot in the summer, they could take more money and redo the air conditioning system, you know, and you know, I know I'm talking. I'm full. You know the word full? I am full. I am just full. And,
look, Queen.
you know, another thing, with the with MPS, where are all the young parents? There should be hundreds of these parents, not you and I, but there should be parents that are upset enough to take off from jobs and stuff and come out here and get to the streets.
Wow.
Not you know, where are they at? Where's the how do you get people out of their house?
Oh, wow. You know.
So I'm sorry, Tory.
Look, I can understand the frustration, Queen. You know, like I said, you're speaking a lot of the sentiments of a lot of people that when we talk about what's going on at MPS, when we talk about what's going on in this city with the leadership, hey, you know, I stop and people stop me all the time and they say a lot of the things that you said to me in this last 5 minutes. And I'll say this, at this point, I gotta blame the residents. And the only reason is because we had opportunities to cut a lot of this off at the head, and a lot of people sat docile and suffering that. So it's what are you going to do after that? You know, and at this point, I got to point the finger at us. You know, at us as a people that live in these communities, because the people that are doing what they've been doing, they're continuing to do it. Like you said, they just approved the money. They were, you know, these things have been approved. But before this happened, there were recalls. There were people challenging the system. There were people saying, hey, we need to rise up and stop this before it happens. That never happened. The people never rose to the occasion. So what are you going to do?
I think personally everybody's on their mobile phone. I see more people, and I have to put mine down. I think the world could end and right today, and nobody would really know the world is ending because they got their head plugged into a cell phone. And another thing, when I'm driving, I see people across the street in front of me, and they got their head in the phone. So the phone is, you know, everybody got out their phone and
TechNet.
I don't know, Tory. Keep up the good work. And like I said, I don't know. You're doing the best you can. We just got to come out of our houses and go out and group together. It takes large groups.
Hey, look, I'm setting up events where we can be active. If they choose not to participate, we've challenged things where people can stand up and get ahead of it. If they said docile, I don't know what more can happen.
They'll stay on their phone and be entertained, I guess. Okay, thank you.
God bless you, Queen. Look, when we come back, Tory Lowe Show live from the lakefront. Look, I'm going to check on the chat, see what we got in the chat. Who else we got on the lines? We're going to try to get to whoever is left on the lines. Truth Nation, stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Every accomplishment starts somewhere. For University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee student Nick Burschbach, it was internships that led to a job at GE Healthcare. For Charles Kelly, it started with an internship at a TV station. Now, he's a weekend anchor. And for Jaden Anderson, her leadership led to recognition from the American Institute of Architecture students. The path to success goes many places. It starts at UWM.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease and he's on dialysis and he wants to get on the list and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute, even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died and they wanted to take his organs and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Milwaukee Brewers will begin a 3-game series against the Colorado Rockies over at American Family Field. The Milwaukee Brewers at 45-36 on the season. Jose Quintana on the mound. First pitch is set for 7:10. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks made their selection in the NBA draft last night, number 47th overall.
The Milwaukee Bucks select Bogoljub Markovic.
Markovic last played in Serbia, where he averaged just over 13 points per game.
Certainly from a physical side and mental side, it has prepared me, I think, the most out of anyone here, in my opinion. But I'm just super glad to be here, blessed, ready to get to work.
This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Said fuck the Drake and bout the G-Lock. He run up Betty, get pop, yeah, I rap, but fuck this hip-hop. I'm active, boy, don't get dropped. Niggas, they walk with flip-flops. Hey, rats and cheese, they get chopped. From the slum straight to the tip-top. It's on me, bitch, don't get popped. Feel like 50, all in one swap. Ran off the plug, got too hot. We had hoes and bows in 2 spots. Put off Corvette, the roof shot.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show, live from Summerfest. We talking about healing the tensions, the conflict between the community and the law enforcement. And I'll tell you this, I never was a big person on really trying to cause a lot of stress between police and community, because many times when people call me, eventually I'm gonna need somebody to come and from the police department and do their job. because I deal with a lot of the elements in the community that a lot of the citizens call me and deal with, and I need good communications with the family to communicate with law enforcement, because I let the family communicate with the law enforcement. But now I said this year I was going to make sure that I personally, with all of my wisdom and understanding of what I learned from the community, try to mend some of these bridges and gaps that we're facing when it comes to dealing and getting results in our community. So I already said that before this situation happened, but look what happened. I just had the police chief Jeffrey Norman on the show. I had the mayor on the show. I had other organizations on the show already to try to make sure that we doing our part and making sure they know they have to do their part. And this is where ultimately, to build a better community, all these elements have to be working well. They have to, and they haven't been. We got Winky Blue on the lines. Winky Blue.
Hey, good afternoon to you, big brother.
How you doing, brother?
I'm blessed, man. You know, it's a tragic that those two officers got shot in the last night. And my question has been, I understand that sometimes they do rotate police officers, and that'll probably be what they'll have to clean that aisle up with. If some boys was over here on the north side, trying to get, I don't know, it's a lot of stuff going on. But anyway, man, that just seemed to be a bad omen for police officers at 25th Street block. I remember I had a store on 34th and North Avenue, a smoke shop, and then there was another smoke shop on 25th and North Avenue, and some guys broke in there one morning and stole some stuff, and the police came and chased him on the foot, and the boy ran up on the porch, and the police ran through the yard and killed him right on 25th and North Avenue. Then, if you look back in probably a few years after that, a police was sitting in his a paddy wagon, and a guy shot out the window with a long rifle and killed him right on 24th. And I think that was probably Brown or something. I don't know. You have to go back and look at that. This seems like 25th is a bad, 24th, 25th is bad for them police. Like 30th and Center, 33rd, 32nd and Center. That's not a good place for it. It seems like it's like you cursed, man, in those areas, man, when something happened to an officer. But anyway, man, I hope this guy recover. And they got one of them little dudes in jail, right?
Yep, they got a suspect. We just got the article up. They got somebody in custody. We got an article on this.
Yeah, he was 22 years old. Well, he wanted for something else, ain't he?
Well, we're going to upload this clip so everybody can get the information about the young man. I guess that one of the stations got some information.
And in closing, that thing about community, with bringing the community together with the police, look, I tried that, man, and because I understood that don't nobody know where little Ray hide his gun at night, but people in his peer. So I tried to bring the police together and have events where the police would actually come out, the white shirts, come out and mingle with young folks. I'm talking about the young crowd, because I've been in meetings. I've been to 3rd District meeting. I've been to other meetings. And everybody, like you said, they don't got a problem. They're in there addressing their problem, and I stand up and say, look, everybody that we talking about, the people that we talking about, is not even in the room right now. So what do we expect to get out of this? I did that at multiple little meetings, especially that 3rd District meeting up there at the police station. I don't even know if they got it still going, because I just got tired of it, man. It wasn't nothing happening but the community coming and complaining and put more laws on good people, But I think that if you can get them to listen and do what you're talking about, that's a win, man. That is a win, because the people that's causing the havoc on our community ain't in the room. I had a club called Unity in the Community, man. They fought me on that, and we was going good. The second year, we didn't even go apply for our license no more because my sons them had it. And I said, man, don't even apply for your license, because they didn't want us there in the first place. But we kept the police involved, trying to get them to be active. You know what the police sergeant told me? He said, man, I got enough problem trying to keep me and my. He said, I got enough problem trying to keep me and my family safe, man. That's what he told me, man. That's what a brother told me.
Wow.
He said, man, I got enough time trying to keep me and my family. But anyway, man, I got to get out of here. That 25th just seemed to be just it just seemed to be a curse for the police, man. You know. All right, man, I got to go.
All right, Wink. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of people have tried to get the transparency going. You know how many people have told me that? And like I said, that's why I say I had to take my time not only to understand what to do, I went and did it myself. I already know what it's supposed to look like at this point because I went out and did the hard work to understand what needs to happen. So we gonna run it back. Hey, look, when we come back, we're going to have more conversation, Truth Nation. Tory Lowe Show live from the lakefront. Stay tapped in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, in case you missed the amazing premiere of the 8 Block, you've got another chance to tap in. Coming straight from the heart of Milwaukee, the 8 Block is a bold, youth-led radio show powered by City on the Hill and 1017 The Truth, hosted by me, your boy, Ben Jammin. 8 Milwaukee teens with real stories and real lives. So don't miss the replay this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1017 The Truth and hear what the future leaders of the world have to say. Truth Nation, welcome to the 8 Block.
Why did Old National Bank decide to create this program?
You know, it was something that was near and dear to the heart of our chairman and CEO, Jim Bryant. Jim wanted us to do more in the African-American communities, more with minority-owned businesses. So he approached Roland Shelton, who was my boss in Evansville, Indiana, and said, Roland, we need to do more. We need to create a program that's going to allow individuals, minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses to access capital a lot better than traditionally we've been doing. And so we created the Empowerment Loan Program 2 years ago.
And for those that are now leaning more into this conversation, what's the best way to get in contact with you as part of their interest in the Empowerment Loan Program?
I'm going to give you my cell phone number to the listeners. It's 414-687-7393. And if that doesn't work, feel free to reach me at my email, tracy.meeks@oldnational.com.
Tracy Meeks, Senior Vice President, Community Lending Market Executive from Old National Bank.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Truth Nation, you already know I got to put you on the latest hookups at Nick Avani's. Summer is here, and Nick Avani's is bringing all the heat all month long with 50% off select items during June. Whether you're leveling up your wardrobe or just want to turn heads wherever you go, they've got you covered with top-tier fashion. Suits, shirts, ties, shoes, and more. It's all about that fresh look and confident vibe, and Nick Avani's is making sure you step out feeling like $1,000,000. Pull up to Nick Avani's on the second floor of Mayfair Mall or shop online anytime at nickavanis.com.
State Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm too demanding when they hit a double coat the candy. I'm so high, no landing. Connect like they're steady.
101.7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show, live from the lakefront, live from Summerfest. Hey, it's a beautiful day today. If you're down here at Summerfest, stop through. People been stopping through ever since we started the show. just stopping through. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Continue. If you're down at Summerfest, we by the Gruber Law Office Sports Zone, right by the lake. Come see your boy Tory Lowe. Come holler at your boy. We got some games so you can win some true swag right on the side. They over here. If y'all, I wish y'all could see what's going on the side of the tent. People over here, we got a line of people playing games, winning a lot of true swag, truth t-shirts, truth items. Stop through, holler at your boy. Hey, it's been an amazing conversation we've been having today, and salute to everybody that's joining us in the chat, that's joining us as we broadcast live, that's hitting us on the lines, 833-212-1017. We got to have this conversation. We got to make sure that we're understanding where we need to be right now, exactly where we need to be right now, and that's right in the mirror. We need to be right in the mirror with ourselves and making sure that we're doing our little so nobody have to do everything. I'm telling you, this is where we got to make that change. That's where we got to make that change. I'll say this. I cannot do what I'm doing without Truth Nation. I cannot do what I'm doing without everybody that shared over the years, that have came forward with information over the years to make sure that these families, that everything in the community can be resolved in the way where the people are in the front resolving their own issues. That's what I represent. I represent those that are willing to make those changes, because those are the people that's helping me. I understand what I'm saying. I don't get funded. I don't get nothing to help my people. $0. And I'm able to turn things around because I focus on myself and my people. I focus on us being able to be the resource that we needed, the resource that we didn't have. We became that. We became that resource for each other. And we waiting on you. For those that ain't active, for those that are docile, we waiting on you. Because we already involved in it, we already knee deep and trying to make change. We just need y'all to join us. We need y'all to step in. Like when we talk about we gonna do recalls to try to shake up things, y'all need to participate. Y'all need to get involved in it. Because now we're looking at the after effect when you do recalls and things like that and the people don't participate, but they do come back around and they start complaining. They still complaining. Well, you don't have to complain, because when the moment came to shake things up, you sat on your hands. Okay. What you want people to do after that? I'm trying to understand it. Hey, but we got to run the break. When we come back, Truth Nation, I think we got a suspect. We got some information on the suspect that was involved in the police shooting. We're going to talk about it when we get back. Tory Lowe Show live from the lakefront. Stay tapped in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Summerfest is back, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth has you covered with front row access passes to the best concerts at Summerfest this year.
Tune in to all your favorite Truth shows every day so you do not miss your chance to win tickets and wristbands to see artists like Offset, Bossman D-Lo, Ira Star, T Grizzly, and so many more.
Do not miss your chance to see these artists up close and personal during Milwaukee's biggest summer party. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance.
Truth Nation, have you ever wanted to meet the people behind Milwaukee's Realist Talk? Well, here's your chance. Join us Friday, July 11th from 5 until 7 p.m. at Mr. B's Privilege Lounge, 8617 West Brown Deer Road, for our first installment of Beyond the Mic. That's right, Milwaukee. We want to hang with you, share some laughs, talk about the issues, and build community one happy hour at a time. Beyond the Mic, where conversation continues after the show. Only from 1017 The Truth.
Carrie, where's Tory Lowe and Dr. Ken at? I'm trying to knock these commercials out.
How am I supposed to know, Sherwin?
Well, I'm about to do their parts because my impressions are on point anyway. This is Dr. Ken Harris from Truth in the Afternoon, and I want you to download the Truth app in the Google Play Store and Apple Store so you can never miss my show or any of the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Really, Kyle?
Sherwin, you are crazy.
Sherwin, your impression of me is horrible. Move. Give me my mic. I guess I'll just repeat what Sherwin said. Go to the Google Play Store or Apple Store to download the 1017 The Truth app today so you can take the home of Milwaukee Black Talk with you wherever you are.
Can't listen live? Download the new 1017 The Truth app on your smartphone today to catch up on all your favorite shows. Search 1017 The Truth on your Google Play Store or Apple App Store so you don't miss out on any of the action.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
All of your favorite 1017 The Truth content whenever you want. The Truth app has it all. The Truth is on 1017 and 1510 WGKB Waukesha, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. The Wisconsin Supreme Court has ruled unanimously that UW Health is not legally required to recognize its nurses' union or engage in collective bargaining. The decision upholds prior rulings and affirms that the 2011 law known as Act 10, which limited collective bargaining for public employees, applies to UW Health. Nurses had argued the hospital could still choose to bargain, especially after pandemic-era staffing issues. The court sided with UW Health, saying the law removed obligation. Milwaukee County will lose $2 million in federal grants after a low-income senior living center proposal failed. The County Board of Supervisors voted 10-7 on Thursday to reject the proposal to construct parts of McGovern Park. The Journal-Sentinel reports the county had selected parts of McGovern Park's 61 acres to build senior housing, but neighborhood residents shot down the idea. Members of the county's Commission of Aging warns that more needs to be done to preserve the county's senior living centers. The county's current 5 senior living centers have $20 million in deferred maintenance. 2 police officers are shot, one critically in a late-night shooting in Milwaukee. Officers responded around 9:20 p.m. Thursday night to reports of a person firing shots near 24th and Garfield. The suspect was arrested without incident around 2 a.m. this morning. Milwaukee Police Association President Alex Ayala says a critically injured officer had surgery overnight at Freighter Hospital.
The next 24 hours are going to be crucial for him, so I just want everybody to pray for him for the next 24 hours. Hopefully everything goes well and he makes it through this.
The other officer is now in stable condition. In the past 5 months, Milwaukee has had 4 police-involved shootings. This has been your news update. The Tory Lowe Show continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth. The most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM. The movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice. We want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio, live from the lakefront. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the 3rd hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And we are down at Summerfest. And you know what? I got Truth Nation that's stopping by that didn't even stop by to talk to me because they saw me talking on the air. They passed by. But they tagged me in their story. They got me in their story. They took a picture and tagged me in the story. Xavier. That's, you know. Sometimes you don't know how you're looking when you're talking on the air, but I guess I know how I look now. You feel me? Salute to Truth Nation for doing that. They've been tagging me on social media with pictures they have taken. But they didn't even stop by. They didn't even say hi. They just kind of walked past. They didn't want to interrupt the broadcast. You can interrupt the broadcast. You just can't. I just can't talk to you. You know. Yeah, you can interrupt the broadcast. We can shake hands. We can do all kinds of stuff. You know, we can fist bump. All of that. You know, I got time for you. But in this case, they had they just took the picture and kept it moving and tagged me in it. Took a little video and tagged me in it. That's what's up. Once again, we down here live at the lakefront, outside of the sports zone, the Gruber Law Office sports zone. And once again, tomorrow we'll be at the sports zone live, prime time with the young people versus the MPD. I cannot wait. I just got a text from some of the coaches, some of my assistant coaches. You know, I got to bring the squad. I got to bring my assistant coaches. Salute to everybody that's involved. Tomorrow's going to be a powerful day. Salute to all of the young people that'll be playing in the game. The community created this team. This ain't none of my nieces and nephews. This ain't nobody I know. See, I don't believe in the buddy system. I believe in the community system. I believe in we reach out to the community and they bring us what we need to have. See, I could have, you know, a lot of y'all when they do these events, they'll bring in people that, you know, buddies and friends and kids they know and things like that. No, when I make that call out on the radio, that's for you as the people to come and play. That's who gonna be playing at the game. Y'all children, y'all people. You know, we gonna tear it up and we gonna bring home the victory. At the same time, we want to make sure that we're doing our collaborative events to make sure that these young people can have a better meeting with the law enforcement with MPD. So salute to MPD for participating and doing this down here at the sports zone. Salute to everybody in the community that have gathered together. Now I got another round of kids coming for July 5th at 12 o'clock. So we got two games. We got one tomorrow, Saturday at noon, and we also got July 5th at noon, MPD versus the teens, Cops for Kids and Community. Go to copsforkids.com if you want to understand more about the program. I'm excited. But I want to get to this news article that they said that that there was a suspect that they have caught from the shooting that took place of the police officer. Xavier, get that video up on the screen if you're watching this. We broadcast live. We got video. Let's listen.
On Thursday night, it happened near 24th and Garfield. Officials say one officer remains in critical condition and another is expected to be okay. A suspect is now in custody. So let's bring in our Jenna Ray this afternoon, who has been working to learn more about this shooting. And Jenna, what can you tell us so far, and what have you learned about this incident?
Adriana, right now I'm on 37th and Villard. That's because public records show Milwaukee police officers arrested a 22-year-old man in this very neighborhood, possibly in connection with last night's shooting. We know that this 22-year-old man has been arrested earlier this morning, but we're not naming him because he hasn't been formally charged by the DA's office. So I want to walk you through back to this incident. It all stems from late last night near 24th and Garfield, where police say a man ambushed two police officers in an alleyway and shot at them. Neither of the shot officers were able to shoot back at the suspect. A 29-year-old police officer was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries, while a 32-year-old officer remains in critical condition right now. I talked with neighbors this morning where the shooting happened, who say they heard gunfire last night on their block several times before the officers were shot. Now, right now, we are still working to confirm the identity of the 22-year-old suspect, who police say is possibly connected to the shooting of these two MPD officers. Again, still working on that confirmation, and we'll bring you the latest as soon as we know more. Adriana.
Hey.
Yeah, as soon as we have those additional details on that suspect, we will be sure to update you both on air and
situations like this, and the young man that was caught and arrested, many times I would love to understand, his mind frame. What 22 years old, what is going through your mind during this time? Also, many times when we have to get information like that, this is why I say the full transparency, we may not find that out. You know, or if he may talk, you know, he got a right to remain silent. But at the end of the day, you know, we got a lot of people that I've heard that called into this show. They tried to say, hey, you know, this type of behavior. You know, they depending on what side of the fence you on. I was able to hear both sides of conversations since I've been on the air, and Truth Nation have heard both sides of these conversations. I've always been for, we got to take the resources in our community and maximize them to make the community a better place. Now, due to the neglect that we've seen, that has yet to be able to happen. Like Winky Blue said, he tried to do things to get ahead of the curve and trying to do things out here in the community and do these events, but then sometimes the transparency from the other side or the leadership from the other side, they got a whole nother direction. They want to swing some of these organic ideas from the people, and sometimes once you take the authenticity out of it, it's no longer effective. And I have a whole bunch of people that have told me, Tory Lowe, I've tried to do this, I've tried to do that, but the people who are running the show, they tried to go a different direction and took the program to where I felt like you're taking away what makes the program effective. That's why I largely didn't want to work with them like that. That's why, because I didn't want to do it. I didn't, up until this day, that ain't what I do. But now I feel that now with the understanding that I went out here for 16 years and actually became an expert on how to deal with certain incidents and certain levels of degrees of difficulty in my community, I believe that now I can be even more effective in what needs to take place. So now it's time to make sure that we add our component and the maturity that we have and get to work. That ability to get to work, I believe that's what's missing. That ability to make sure that we about that action, I think that's what's missing. I think that to get results, the ability to try to turn a situation around and get a result, I think that's what's missing from a lot of these organizations, from a lot of these initiatives. I think they sound good on paper, but they fall short in the street once they hit the block, and they don't affect the people that need to truly be involved. That's what I see. But it's a new day. We gonna work on it. We ain't gonna be no more excuses, because I'm gonna show up and you talking to somebody that's tried and true, that did it and I didn't have it to do. You feel me? I didn't have it to do. You know what I mean? But I did it, so let's see what happens. Because I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna bring it to you, and we gonna work. And if you don't want to work, I'm gonna definitely come on the radio and tell you. I'm gonna point you out, because you the problem. You the problem. We don't need no problems. We need solutions. We need people gathering together to make some real solutions, and that's it. But I came up with at least 10 things we could do to build trust between community and police. 10 things that we can do together to build that trust. Now, a lot of times, a lot of people say this ain't gonna never work because the people, the leadership, the people that's giving the green light to some of these ideas that we don't like, we gonna have to address them too. We can't do the status quo no more in 2025. It's getting too bad. Officers getting shot. So do you want them to continue getting shot? Or do you want to try to make changes and improve the relations between the people and working better together to erase some of these criminal elements that's in front of us? What you trying to do? And that's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to look in their face and tell them. And if that's the case, then it is what it is. Because it's because of the way it always been of what's happening right now. That's leading to what's happening right now. But we got to participate in the neighborhood events. Engage with the community by participating in neighborhood events. You know, we all got to come and participate, even the officers that serve our community. We don't only have to see you when you got the badge on and the gun on. Why don't you get out in the community? You ain't always got to be off to the side when you off work. Get involved in some of the community events that's going on. Take off that, when you got your off time, come hang out in the neighborhoods that you serving. They can do that too. You know, people got to attend community events. You know, when they talk about, we're going to show policy, talk about policy, and we can say, okay, we don't need that policy no more. We need to upgrade these ideas. You got to have a voice at the table, too, when it comes to policy and legislation. But they got to have the ability to come to the community and participate in when they do the block parties, when they do these outdoor things. You don't have to always show up in the police outfit. When you got your time off, just swing through the community without all of that. Let people get to know who you are. And as citizens, we can take a Citizens Police Academy course. You know, take the courses, see what what it looks like, what it feels like to be an officer. You know, they had a point where you can go on them rides, where you can go in the rides with the police. I don't know if they still doing that or what the qualifications are, but, you know, try to understand from their perception, from their perspective of what's going on. Every neighborhood is different. If you got in the back of a squad car and rode around in maybe Milwaukee, it may not look the same as rolling around on the north side of Milwaukee. So it depends on where you took the ride. So since we live in Milwaukee, let's help get a better understanding of what we up against out here. And with the police officer, make sure that every time we see you don't always have to show up with the suit on. What you doing on your days off? Are you coming to certain festivals, community gatherings, and letting the people know that you're concerned or you want to be in fellowship with those that you say you serving every day? I don't see that happen. These are the things that we have to start seeing to make it better, to build that camaraderie. Understand what I'm saying? When we come back, Truth Nation, Tory Lowe Show live from Summerfest, live from the lakefront. Hey, we got Truth Nation, we got people, my boys from the block, they showed up. When we come back, we'll have more conversation. Truth Nation, stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, this is the legendary Home Blow. Hoping you and your family will join me at the 31st annual Home Blow birthday party for the kids this Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m. at the Fitzsimmons Boys and Girls Club. It's going to be an afternoon of free food, Kool-Aid, the red kind, and fun for the kids. This celebration is for kids 2 to 13 years old, and admission is absolutely free. It's my 31st annual Home Blow birthday party for the kids this Saturday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, visit the Homer Blow Foundation Inc. Facebook page.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app at 1017thetruth.com.
You dig? I'm spending this on my kids. I'm sending the bit, not the beans. My pink slip, no rent. I don't want you gonna do nothing if I gotta be the one tell you to spend. Telling for nothing, and I gotta be the one calling them friends. Drop top Rolls Royce, I don't know the kind, I don't know the name of it. This was last night and this morning, but I don't know the name of it. She told that she
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Look, we live from the lakefront. Salute to Burnham for coming through. Hey, look, you know, I'm going to tell you this. Burnham came through. He used to do a lot of things in Milwaukee. Now in Vegas. So salute to Burnham. Many times when we see people doing things in the community and then they take off and they feel like they have to leave to be more successful. And a lot of people have left Milwaukee trying to help, trying to make the community better. So Burnham came through. Salute Burnham, you know, for coming through. One of the brothers that used to try to do a lot. We actually had to stand out at the county to protest what was going on at the county. And many times, you know, I seen a lot of the brothers that was trying to really do some work. They had to take off and leave, you know, and they became successful in some other space outside of Milwaukee. But Burnham didn't stop through. He gave me his card. He's doing clothing now, and that's powerful. I want all my brothers to do the right thing and try to make sure that they are maintaining, but I wish they could do it right here in the city of Milwaukee where they was born and raised, where they had all the passion for to do it. But sometimes, unfortunately, like Winky Blue said, you know, they don't. Sometimes the brothers and sisters on the front lines don't get that kind of support. But I got another story that I wanted to talk about. This is a story that Elizabeth Brown had brought to my attention, and I want to make sure that I bring it to the front right here. This is a story about a Memphis gynecologist that performed at least 100 unnecessary situations or surgeries or kind of ideas when it came to gynecology work, unnecessary on people, and now it's in the news. I guess he's in trial. Federal authorities indicted him because he was out here malpracticing. We got video as we broadcast live. If you're watching as we broadcast live, let's see what's going on in Memphis with this gynecologist.
Fox 13 has new information about the federal case against a local doctor. Dr. Sanjeev Kumar was indicted in February on 23 counts related to healthcare fraud, reusing medical devices, and trafficking for sex acts. He has pleaded not guilty. Well, tonight, Fox 13 Investigates has new court documents that paint a disturbing picture of the practices that led to this indictment.
What happened behind the walls of the Popular Avenue Clinic Women's Health and Med Spa led to a federal investigation. In April of 2024, Fox 13 showed you this raid on the East Memphis Medical Office. Then in February of this year came the indictment of Dr. Sanjeev Kumar. As the federal case proceeds, prosecutors have filed new documents laying out their case against him. An expert gynecologic oncologist reviewed 11,000 pages of medical records for the government in Dr. Kumar's case. That doctor determined at least 100 of the 151 hysteroscopies he reviewed should not have been performed. That is 2/3 of the procedures. He also writes, quote, "I question the appropriateness of additional hysteroscopies, but definitively determined that at least 100 were not medically indicated or necessary, unquote.
Oh, wow.
As examples, he cites a procedure performed in 2021 on a 14-year-old girl he says was not necessary based on her age. In another case, he says one patient had a hysteroscopy 5 times in less than a year, and that none of those procedures were necessary. The witness for the government concludes it is, in my opinion, that this provider was either motivated by compensation or was inappropriately treating patients by failing to look thoroughly at their medical records. Another witness who works for the Food and Drug Administration says that she reviewed photos taken when the search warrant was served in 2024. She says those photos showed single-use medical devices that were reused and not properly cleaned or sterilized. She also says she watched a training video on how to reprocess those devices and that the techniques described would not make them clean enough to use on patients. The government plans to call 2 other witnesses, a lab tech about material found on those devices, and a Medicare billing expert. Dr. Kumar's trial is currently scheduled for September.
And Dr. Kumar is currently out on bond.
That's crazy. See, that's why they say it's a practice. And then that's why you got malpractice. See, a lot of times we go to the doctor and we like, okay, they supposed to know, but they only there to practice. And then you got doctors that, you know, they practice ain't up to par. But they got the license to practice on you. So you got to pick the best person that you going to let practice on you. That's how I put it. If somebody going to practice on me, I want them to be the best, especially if it's surgery going on. I want the best person to do the surgery because you can't just let anybody that's wearing a white coat just do anything. That's not the way it is. Some people graduated with great grades. Some people barely made it, okay? So you got to make sure you picking and choosing the right one. That's why they say you get to choose your physician. Choose whoever you're going to allow to practice on you. You got to choose. You got to make sure you do your research, do your background on these people because it's just a horrible situation. Horrible situation that happened in Memphis with this malpracticing gynecologist. I guess we got Eddie on the lines. Eddie, how you doing, brother Eddie?
Good day, Tory Lowe. How you doing?
Hey, I'm feeling powerful.
Tory, where's my music?
DJ Brother Z ain't in today. We got
is that
Xavier,
what it is?
Xavier in today, yeah.
Okay, I get it. So, Tory, this has actually happened to me. It's happened, I know, 2 cases, but one of them was...
With the gynecologist?
A doctor. No, it's an chiropractic, orthopedic
I'm just trying to be clear. I was just trying to make it clear.
And I saw one day, I've got a copy of my insurance record, or, the copy of the billing statements and stuff. And I couldn't believe what this guy was billing. It was like 8 times the normal rate. And, when I confronted him on it, through a phone call, of course I didn't get a call back, but it was absolutely ridiculous. I got a shot, and for one shot, a cortisone shot, which is no big deal. It's very common in many medical offices. I got charged $8,900 for it.
What?
For a cortisone, yep. I couldn't believe it. And a lot of that was the price of the room, the surgical room, but it wasn't a surgical room. It was a regular doctor's office. And they billed me like some ungodly amount for the room, like $4,000 for 20 minutes. I could not believe it. And I think this kind of malfeasance goes on all the time with this medical billing, especially when the government gets involved. I think they don't have the means, they don't have the manpower to audit everybody or check everything out. So these doctors just do what they want to do, and they get away with it for a long, long time until they slap somebody's hand and everybody gets in line for a while.
Well, how many times do we even check to see the receipt of the doctor visit if we have insurance?
I don't think not a lot. I think you'd be lucky if one person in 6 or 7 did that.
Right.
But that's in a lot of places. You go to a restaurant, the bill comes. You don't look at the bill. You just hand them your credit card and you're on your way. And I've had it to the point where I've seen them add things on my bill because they don't know But they know that you don't look. If you're a regular, you don't look at your bill. So there's an extra 3 drinks on there, right?
Right.
Or the tip gets altered from, let's say it's a $15 tip to a $75 tip by adding 2 lines, right? That stuff does happen. I've
it
seen
does.
it. I've seen it happen.
It happens
really
all
does.
the time. You're right.
Happens all the time. Tory, what are you doing over the weekend, Tory? What are you doing?
Hey, look, I got the basketball game right here at Summerfest with the MPD and the teens, Cops for Kids and Community organization. They do this every year, but this year, Coach Tory Lowe going to be out there. It's going to be a great time. Teens ages from 15 to 19.
Yeah.
It's going to be powerful, Eddie.
Be at
12 o'clock at the Sports Zone. 12 o'clock at the Sports Zone. Hopefully I can see Eddie out there.
Tory.
Hey.
Maybe I'll strap on my shoes, Tory. Maybe I'll come in shorts.
I may let you hold.
You
I
know-
may let you grab the clipboard and be the assistant coach.
Well, you could play me too. I could be a player coach, Tory.
You gotta wait a minute. You gotta be 15 to 19. It's only for 15 to 19.
I identify as 17, so that's not going to work. And, Tory, I don't know if you know this, but I have a 156-inch vertical leap.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you know that about me.
I didn't know that.
156-inch vertical leap. Nike
did
wants to
not
hire
know
me,
that.
Tory. Nike wants me. Yeah.
Maybe they'll have you
All right,
paint a
Tory,
few
on that
rooms
note,
for them.
I would be happy to do that. I'm going to let you go, Tory. I want you to have a good weekend. Maybe I'll see you at Summerfest.
All right. Hopefully we see you outside, Eddie. It's a good event. Hey, you can probably teach some of these young men how to paint the house. All right. Talk to you later, Eddie.
That's right. I'd be happy to do that. Bye-bye, Tory.
All right. When we come back, Truth Nation will be joined by advocate author Elizabeth Brown, Tory Lowe Show, live from Summerfest. Stay tapped in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tired of hearing no from other banks? No to a loan? No to a checking account? Just no? At Brewery Credit Union, they find ways to say yes. Yes to second chances. Yes to rebuilding credit. Yes to helping you save, borrow, and thrive. Work with your credit specialist and move your financial life forward. Brewery Credit Union, Milwaukee's best place to borrow and save. Visit brewerycu.com. That is brewerycu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Dreaming of owning your first home? Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity can help make it happen. With little to no down payment and average monthly mortgage payments of $950, you can build a brand new home you love without breaking the bank. And you won't do it alone. Habitat provides the coaching, education, and support to guide you every step of the way. Stop renting and invest in a new home you can truly call your own. Visit MilwaukeeHabitat.org to learn more.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Carrie Noni with her truth.
You know, sometimes the mundane isn't a burden, it's the beauty of living. I came to this conclusion after recently watching the movie Subservience on Netflix. It's a crazy film, y'all. I would suggest you check it out. But it's a story that explores our relationship with technology and how it's programmed to take our burdens away. This movie really got me thinking about how much we're wired to avoid struggle. We create tools and shortcuts to make life easier, whether it's robots, apps, or even outsourcing everyday tasks. But in the process, we risk forgetting the value of the little things we go through every day. Sure, folding laundry or grocery shopping might feel like chores. I literally dread cleaning up. But isn't there something grounding about them? Something that reminds us we're human. Life isn't just about the highlights or the easy parts. It's about the messy, repetitive, and sometimes inconvenient stuff too. Think about it. Who would you be if you didn't have to face the small frustrations that test your patience, or the routines that push you to show up for yourself or the people around you? The mundane moments, the ones we rush to escape, are often the ones that shape us. If life was nothing but convenience, where's the growth? Where's the grit that teaches us resilience? And most importantly, where's the appreciation for the moments that do take our breath away? So maybe the next time you find yourself annoyed by the daily grind and are on the brink of crashing out, you pause, you breathe, and remind yourself that the beauty of life isn't just in the big moments, but in every little thing that makes them possible.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by Lowe's.com. With AI booming and platforms like TikTok and YouTube, the barrier to entry for creatives looking to share their content has never been lower. Ty Randolph is a longtime media executive. She works for Kevin Hart's Heartbeat Media Company and serves as interim consulting CEO at Rock the Bells. She talked to Bloomberg about how today's tech is impacting the creator landscape.
You have this real rise that's happening with creator empowerment, and now there's this big accessibility, right? There's more personalization and control, and that is big for studios and for even distributors. But then you have this, real battle from an IP and ownership perspective that's akin to a Napster-like moment in the music industry.
While creators have more cheap but highly capable tools than ever before, Randall says we're still learning how it'll impact the creator economy, and especially creators of color. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Milwaukee Brewers will begin a 3-game series against the Colorado Rockies over at American Family Field. The Milwaukee Brewers at 45-36 on the season. Jose Quintana on the mound. First pitch is set for 7:10. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks made their selection in the NBA draft last night. Number 47th overall.
The Milwaukee Bucks select Bogoljub Markovic.
Markovic last played in Serbia, where he averaged just over 13 points per game.
Certainly from a physical side and mental side, it has prepared me, I think, the most out of anyone here, in my opinion. But I'm just super glad to be here, blessed, ready to get to work.
This Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Before I got money, I was in the track kicking doors, and I'm just being honest. If you want smoke, then we cook up like an omelet, I'm just being honest. Throw me a 60 if I go to Magic or Honest, I'm just being honest. I keep a stick or a blicky in case it gets sticky, I'm just being honest. In case she know that I'm with it, I'm having this chicken, this trick, and I'm just being honest. Who really getting it, be honest? Hey, posture be giving, be honest. She real like a
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. Hey, look, we got Elizabeth Brown. The advocate, the author, on the lines. How you doing, Elizabeth Brown?
Salute, King. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Hey, it's Friday. We down at Summerfest. It's a beautiful time. We having a great time. And tomorrow we'll be out here at Summerfest with the teens versus MPD.
Yes, sir. That's definitely going to be a treat. Definitely going to be in the building to check that out.
Now, we've been having a conversation on how to heal a lot of the relations between the community and law enforcement. And there was a tragic incident where officers were shot yesterday. But I thought this was just a beautiful time to really bring up the overall issues and how we can work together to try to just move forward. It's a learning. Sometimes when we hear things like this, this is where we bring up the overall idea of what's happening and what we can do to move forward.
Absolutely, but we have to get real, because again, what we can't forget, like I said, my prayers is out to those officers. I would never want anyone to get hurt, but the MPD has a long history, documented history of brutal abuse, rape, violations upon the black community, and it just leads me to
illegal strip search.
I mean, you name it, We have a history of being brutalized by the police in the city of Milwaukee, okay? Whatever that looks like, trauma, point blank and period. And you can only beat down a group of people for so long, and then, you know, you have these cycles of children seeing their parents being beat and growing up with these thoughts. It's like a child being born into a family where there's an abusive father or abusive mother, and they grow up their whole life with that viciousness of wanting to hurt that individual that hurt their mama. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we have to understand, for there to be healing, like we talk about when we talk about slavery, there has to be repair. People have to take accountability. Everybody always talking about the people taking accountability. We're talking about a city where we done seen people be murdered or being brutalized who have died at the hands, you know, of the individuals that took an oath to protect and serve. And then we have to go through all of these hoops. We have to have the same empathy for not only the police who are harmed, but the regular citizens who are harmed every day by the police. And the only way we can heal is by us being real and standing on the truth. And the truth of the matter is the people have not had repair. Everybody talk about how bad we are and this and that, but we're in a state that's known for mass incarceration. We in a state known for black men being violated by the police, women being violated by the police, children being violated by the police, and at the same time, a culture of policing who are guilty of not giving a damn about what's taking place inside our community. So the first thing we got to do, if we're going to do anything talking about healing as a community, is stop resisting the truth that there has been ongoing trauma from the police. So we got to get real. Because now it's to a point now where the respect, the honor, all of that is out the window. You have people right now that are at the point of literally crashing out. And so now the police and the community need to get real. Because one thing for sure is true for certain, that all of us can die. And if you don't like being treated like that, if you don't like being what they call ambush, then stop ambushing people. Tory, me and you are eyewitnesses to seeing the police brutally busting down an old lady with 3 cars on her. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we got to be real if we're going to change something, is what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is not only do the people have to come to the table, but MPD, because they become something else when they put the blue suit on, when they put the badge on. You know, we had the difference with cops. When the cops were trying to tell the black youth, you don't need to run from me, but they have been traumatized. They have to take accountability for the abuse that our community has received by the hands of them. Not every bad cop. But at the end of the day, if you put on a badge and you have a blue suit, for every cop that then brutalized somebody else, when that person been brutalized, all they see is that uniform.
Well, like I said, this is why we have to have the conversation. This is why we're talking about it. And when we come back, I want to definitely get your final thoughts. And there's a couple things I want to ask you on the other side. It's another question I want to ask you, but I'm going to ask you when we get back from the other side of these commercials. Hey, look, Tory Lowe Show live from Summerfest, Truth Nation. We'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Good Karma Brands would like to send out a big congratulations to Tory Lowe. Tory recently received a proclamation from both the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. So going forward, July 5th will now be recognized as Tory Lowe Day. Tory's activism, advocacy, and hard work makes Tory more than deserving of this recognition. Tory's family at 1017 The Truth celebrate Tory for always being about that action. And we know this is just the beginning, and there is so much more to come as a result of Tory's efforts and leadership. Congratulations again, Tory.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When it's time to upgrade your windows and doors, wouldn't you like to work with the best? But maybe you're thinking in these volatile times, I don't want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget. And right now, you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. And if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years. Pella truly believes that quality windows and doors don't have to be expensive. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the U.S., you can get the look you want at a price you can afford. And with Pella's free in-home consultation, no obligation quote, and range of available financing, getting new windows and doors from Pella is easier than you think. Certain restrictions apply. Ends June 30th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Hey everybody, it's Sherwin Hughes, and I got to tell you about one of my absolute favorite places in the city, Mr. B's Privileged Lounge, located on the northwest side of Milwaukee at 8617 West Brown Deer Road. Mr. B's is your go-to destination for comfort food, an incredible drink menu, and live music that keeps the vibes going all night long. So whether you're winding down or if you want to turn up, Mr. B's has the flavor, the energy, and the atmosphere you've been looking for. Mr. B's Privileged Lounge, privileged to serve.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Serious truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's probably like a day. If I gotta fight for love, then it's like I don't even want it.
Let that Mac fly just like my
Baby, can you help me?
Tune in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth Business Spotlight Thursday. It's Friday. I don't know who sent this read. Elizabeth Brown, hey, look, let me tell you something. There's a lot going on with NPS. They're saying they just approved a $1.5 billion budget.
Come on.
A lot of people are saying, what's going on with the referendum money, though? Do that come back to the people? Do they reject that and send it back to the people? You know what I mean? I don't know.
They should.
A lot of people are saying that, you know, they have the eyebrow raised with the $1.5 billion budget that's focused on the one thing I see is increased salary.
Period. for individual, and I would hope again that ain't. I want to know increased salaries for who? Because like I said, we already know that the new superintendent is getting way more money than need be. One thing for sure and two for certain, Tory, that I'm figuring out, that failure in Milwaukee equals a raise.
What? Wow.
We're in the worst state when it comes to the school, when it comes to the elderly and the housing, when it comes to policing, we're the worst ever. And these people still getting raises. I need somebody to make it make sense. Because on my job, if I don't do my job and I'm failing, I get fired. So the people, we really need to be coming together to figure out what the hell really going on. Because who deserve a raise at MPS outside of the teachers and the cooks and the janitors?
Hey, that's the question of the day. Like I said, we've done things to try to ahead of this before this even came to be. We tried to do recalls on the school board. We tried to bring up no with the referendum. And now we're seeing that a lot of people are starting to say, okay, $1.5 million for the school budget, and we still don't even understand what's going on with the referendum that we say that we probably had been misled into. Also, we don't even know if they got the paperwork finished for the state.
That part.
Is that
in there? Tory, when you talk about $1.5 billion, okay, first of all, our kids is drinking lead water. They just got reprimanded again for not following the lead protocols. Okay? So the infrastructure, again, everything fell in the streets, the school, PD, the jail system, you name it, the health department, everything around us is crumbling. And these people still can pass budgets that's taxing the people, and we don't see nothing from it. Taxation without representation. What's really going on? But one thing that you said about the people, because again, we have to take it on the chin. And those of us who continue to try to bring change, one thing for sure and two for certain, that you're talking about healing, nobody gonna heal if they resisting. You can't heal when you resisting. You can't win when you resisting. That means you want to lose. We have to tap in. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, the only people winning is the people that don't do a damn thing.
Hey.
And our children are looking at this. When my daughter came to me again and asked me, Mama, I did everything right. Why am I suffering? And Tory, the sad part is I couldn't even tell her because I'm doing the right thing and I'm suffering too. You understand what I'm saying? But the people that we know out here fooling on some folio, on the illusions, who like, Ashanti Hamilton, they get the cushy job. Like Cavalier Johnson, who hired Ashanti Hamilton. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thieves are making sure that the rest of the thieves are going to eat, and then the real people who really doing the work is out here suffering and scrambling, but still sacrificing. Some got to change.
And I think that's us. That's something as the people.
Our mindset, absolutely.
Yeah, we gotta redirect ourselves to make sure that we're getting tangible outcomes. And I think we've been programmed to listen to the make it sound good, make it look good. And that's the problem.
Absolutely.
And we don't think that we can have a hand in turning things around. We have left the opportunity to make change into the hands of others. That ain't even the agenda. That ain't even the agenda to make some real change. We are the ones that need to have effective change, and we are the ones that's going to bring that effective change.
And you're absolutely correct. Like I said, everything that we was programmed backwards, everything that's at our detriment. What we have to understand, Truth Nation, is the fact that everything that's good to us not good for us. And we got to stop going with what feels good, what looks good, because it's not good for us. These people not good for us. They're not doing anything to benefit us. We're suffering. So again, we got to stop making excuses and start making changes. And like I said, when you stop resisting, you will start winning.
Hey, look, let me tell you something. I remember back when Verona Swanikin was running for the DA's office. And, they didn't back her. Then, we had certain people that stuck their hat in certain races that they didn't stand behind them. And we did recalls and tried to do this and that, and they didn't come out. So eventually, at this point, like, I got to look at the people that I'm seeing every day on a day-to-day basis and ask them a serious question. What are you doing? To really make some
Real
changes
talk.
Because the question ain't if people are out here trying to make change. The real question is, what are you doing to help them make the change?
That part. Where you at, though?
Hey.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
Absolutely.
Well, Queen, as usual, I appreciate you for being on these front lines as usual. And we got a lot of work to do.
Hey, King. Hey, I'm here for it. One love.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. All right, Xavier.
Thank you for having me on the show today, man.
Hey, look. And look, Truth Nation, I'm going to tell you this. This is the final conclusion I done got. If we don't do it, it ain't going to get done. And if you're looking outside yourself, you lost. That's about it. That's about simple as I could put it. If you don't feel that you can actually make change and affect change, you need to regroup and rethink your abilities, because you're stronger than what you think you is. And you cannot leave change into the hands of people that don't make any changes or don't have a history of change. You got to do it. You got to change yourself, change your block, change your community, change your life. That's the way we doing it. We got to be about that action. And we got to be ready for the smoke. Hey, look, have a fun, safe weekend. We going to be outside. Salute to all of the young men that will be playing against the MPD versus the teens at Cops for Kids and Community. Go to copsforkids.com to see more. But like I said, keep your head on the swivel. Green don't always mean go. Look both ways before you cross the streets. I love you. Have a nice, fun weekend. Dr. Ken Harris up next. Salute to everybody in the chat.
One in the air for the people ain't here. Two in the air for the mother that's there. Three in the air for the kids in the ghetto. Four for the kids that don't want to be.
Today's Associated Bank Black Business Give Back Spotlight is brought to you by Circle of Friends Adult Day Program, and I am excited to be joined by Linnell Norton, who is the owner of Circle of Friends Adult